This clip's brought to you by ServiceNow. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's built on. With the ServiceNow AI platform, your AI, data, and workflows all work together, connecting every corner of your business. To see how you can put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com/AI-agents. All right, everyone, welcome to Served. You know, we started in a garage where we couldn't hardly sit next to each other. And now we're in a place where we're in a studio and we get some of the top tennis stars in the world that stop by. Big Foe in the house. Here for an EXO in Charlotte. What's going on? We haven't seen you for a couple months, man. What's been going down?
Man, not a whole lot. But just been working. I mean, I stopped the season early and wanted to just really get to it. I didn't take a vacation this year. I thought I've had time to kind of rest. I just wanted to really transform my body, take a different approach, and sacrifice some things and really get excited and ready for the new year.
We were talking yesterday. We had a hit for a little bit, and we were just kind of talking. I always struggled in my career. The only time I felt like I had to kind of force things was post-U.S. Open, right? You're traveling, the stadiums, you know, you go to Europe and it gets dark at 4 o'clock. It all kind of looks the same. You don't see daylight sometimes. I struggle with that. You go through the motions because you're a professional, but talk through the decision-making process where if I could go back and do one thing in my career, it would be to where if I wasn't physically ready, if I wasn't mentally ready, to just stop. And that's a hard thing to do, not like forever, but I'm just saying what you did took some time away. How did you get to the decision, you know, post-US Open, and you've had so much success there and so much of your identity is attached to that stadium and the matches that you've played there and the people that you've beat. How did you get to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm going to be better in 26 if I kind of pump the brakes on 25?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, the Open this year wasn't what I hoped for by any means. And then, you know, come to Asia, missed labor and stuff. Davis Cup wasn't great. And I was like, all right, let's scratch it, get rid of it. It was what it was. You know, at the end, you know, still finished 20-something, whatever. But why don't we actually choose yourself and have a long time to actually get ready for the new year? Because once you finish, then you got Thanksgiving and you got a vacation. By the time you know, you only have really 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. I was like, let's have a long time to kind of get ready, get some new habits. You know, it's really hard to get new habits, change things, actually work on your game. With a 2-week event, it's hard to kind of get better. You're always kind of worried about the next match, the next thing. And yeah, it's kind of getting a totally different mindset and different approach. And obviously, you know, for me, right now, the only thing that matters is trying to potentially win majors and be in a position to win majors and be in the top 10 and have a great, however many years it may fall of quote unquote prime. And that's kind of what the decision was to stop early.
Yeah. We know what you look like when you're in full flight, right? You're not scared of the stage. That's not something that bothers you. I almost feel like it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like I fear for you when there's like 4 people in some city that we have never heard of.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to actually put the wins up during those events to then get, like, it's a trickle down effect, right? Like you going in at 30 versus, you know, being seated 8 matters, right? So you're going into the 2026 where it feels like you're clawing some real estate back a little bit. Does that excite you?
Very much so. Very much so. I think it's very easy to kind of get complacent. I've been, you know, from 11 to 20, top 10 for the last 4 or 5 years, and now, you know, I got to earn it. You know, you're not high seeds in these even 250s, 500s, slams, and you know you're gonna play. You know, I'll be 30 right now. I'm gonna play, you know, arguably top 4 or 5 guy in the 3rd round. So it's like that excites me, but it also excites me to have that hunger again and chase it a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely a different seat, but it's an exciting thing, and it's also going to help me really focus when I'm playing in front of 4 or 5 people, because I don't have that luxury anymore. Like that actually matters much more now.
Yeah,
which puts your foot to the fire when and I like it actually.
Talk through kind of building momentum and like the mental stress test of going through this year, and you played really well at Roland Garros. Like I think, you know,
some of the best I've played in my
I think that was the best you played all year.
Yeah,
I mean, given the circumstances, and maybe it's a surface that's not your favorite. But then always kind of knowing that a bulk of your season was in the points total and the ranking was coming down to Cincy, US Open. Is there part of you where even though New York doesn't go the way you want, it's like, okay, like fucking full reset, and now that's done. We wash it away because you've kind of banked on that part of the year
for a lot of years,
not intentionally, but it's just what you get up for. It's just where you play. The court feels better in certain places, but it's also not something that you can bet on, right? Like it's gonna fall out sometimes. So how do you become like more consistent throughout the year to where we're not, focused on 4 or 5 events where we see you and you look like you're like, I always have this conversation. I'm like, I see Francis, he walks into the Arthur Ashe Stadium and he's a top 7 or 8 guy, right? How does that happen all year?
Right. And I think it's kind of like, to even the practice and the work I've kind of been doing. I mean, I know I'm gifted with this game. I've, had great ability. I know it comes quite naturally, but, there's days where I'm in and out and it shows. And I'm totally okay with saying that. There's days where I'm not feeling it and I don't put in the work. I don't do it in the days where it's hard. Find a kind of easy way out and rely on my talent. I'll figure it out. And so kind of just doing the boring things and monotonous thing over and over and over and showing up. I'm trying to show up every day in practice, every day in the gym, do things I don't necessarily like each and every day, and do it like I love it. And I don't want to be. And a lot of times I always risen off motivation. I want to rise off discipline. I show up every day, and that's kind of where I'm at and where my mentality is right now. And I think that's going to create real consistency, longevity, and where I should be, because I see myself a top guy no matter what I'm ranked, and now is actually to be there. This is these kind of things.
I would say most people don't like their job every day. It's okay for a tennis player to say that, right? That's not normal. I remember. It's funny how you pick up like little pieces of wisdom along the way. Like I remember I was on tour with Andre, and I remember I went in and like the greats have this ability to make something that seems really stressful or hard, and they put it in like very simple terms. And so Andre said to me one time, we were in Australia, and it was one of those days where it like felt like a hairdryer outside. Like it's 140 on court and the wind's blowing, and it's just disgusting. And so I'm in the training room, like kind of just bullshitting, having fun, and guys are walking in and out, and Andre's in the corner, kind of not saying much. And having a conversation with someone, I talk. Person leaves, and Andre goes, "Dude, it's the 3rd fucking person you've talked to about how hot it is." He goes, "You're an asshole." I'm like, "What do you mean? Why?" Like, you're right, but why? And he goes, "You're sitting here complaining." He goes, "How many people in the world have to be better than 1 person a day at their job?" And it blew my mind. Right? Because it's like you put it into a thing where it's like the day you're not motivated, you don't have to be more motivated than everyone. You have to be better physically, mentally than the person you're playing. Like you don't have to be perfect every day until you get to the semifinals, and then you're playing
you got to bring it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's weird.
It's a crazy comment. That's right? A crazy comment.
Like how's that? Like
because honestly, you only have to be just a little bit better than that guy on that day. Especially in the early rounds. Like it's kind of like. I don't have to be exceptional, but I just have to be a little bit better than that guy on that day. Yeah. Whatever conditions, climates, whatever the case may be. Sometimes we make it really complex, though.
Yeah.
Super complex.
Because it is hard. Like, you're exposed. It doesn't feel good. Right. And also, like, when you're playing, you're going against, like, the best of Earth every day. And that's hard to, like, think about. And then I always used to get pissed. Like, we would... you'd lose, like, a Wimbledon final or something, and, you lose a bunch of them or, like, whatever, and people are like, when's he going? He sucks. I'm like, man, I beat most of Earth like the last 2 weeks. That's a tough one to take on. Like, but like we celebrate a team that's like 4th in the SEC conference. No. And they're not pros. Yeah. Right? So right. So how have you dealt with, I guess, the expectation set that is, one, you're like a star on the court, right? So that is its own corner. Like fame is different than, what you have to do daily on the court. But how do you do you have a hard time kind of analyzing what reality is and what is true, and then chatter outside of that reality?
Yeah, my dad always does a great job of kind of having me not worry about expectations. It's hard not to. It's kind of right in your face. I mean, for me, I think it's sometimes I like to take myself out of it, and I was like, you wish you would be doing some of the things you're complaining about, right? Like I wish I'd be like, my reality is someone telling me that when I'm 12 or whatever in the world, top 10 in the world, that I'm not reaching expectations. Mm-hmm. As a kid, you'd be like, wait, I take that every day, right? But at the same time, like,
you do have to reset too.
But at the same time, it's like, man, like it's hard thinking, oh man, this guy's so talented? Is he going to be the guy? Oh, he should have done X, Y, and Z, or he should be doing X, Y, and Z, or how is he, not, been in Turin yet, or none of these things yet. And that messes you up. You're like, what? Like, you're like, am I bullshitting? Like, am I actually bullshitting? Like, what am I? Like, when it's quiet and you sitting there by yourself, you're like, wait, hold on. Like, I mean, is there some truth to that? But again, and that's when it's like, looking at the mirror, like, okay, like, what can I do? What can I do better to then? You're only gonna really make yourself happy. Like, what can I do to actually do X, Y, and Z and make those things that these guys are saying real? And you can either feel sorry for yourself or use it as motivation. And right now, I'm kind of using it all as motivation.
I often go back and think through stuff, and I can't decide if a lot of the way that I thought was the reason why I had any career that I had, or it's a reason why I didn't accomplish more, right? Like, I'd go to the track at 7 a.m. and I would always be thinking about, like, is Rafa doing this right now? Or, like, is Roger doing this right now? Are they doing, like, these things? But then I was also like, is that healthy, right? There's so many things, and I think there's a certain point where our strengths kind of become our biggest weaknesses sometimes 100%. As well, and it's hard to, like, it's hard to navigate those things, right?
100%. I've been, like, for example, I've been going on super long runs at, like, this offseason, super early in the morning, like, 5:30s, and I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, yeah, like, and the Final Eight's going on, and I'm like, sorry for my language, but I was like, none of these motherfuckers are doing this right now. Like, tell you that literally, because they're out here. And then, so I mean, I think it's good though. Like, but at the same time, it is like, no, you're doing it for you. Like, you're trying to get better. But I really think, like, it is good to think that way, because they're the reason why you may not get to or do whatever you're trying to do.
I remember I was like, the last year or two that I played, and I was a psycho. Like, if I lost, it was as if the world fell in every time. Like, every single time. Like, couldn't handle it, didn't like it. Would win, I'd be like, okay, next one. I didn't give as much credit. Right. The thing that messed me up the most was I interviewed Roger like 2 years after I retired, and I was working for a different network. And I said, like, you don't have that, like you don't get perceived as like that fire and ice, like that Michael Jordan thing where he broke a teammate's nose in practice. Like, you don't have that. I was like, is it in there? And he said something that I didn't understand. And I'm curious your take on it, because you seem like this happy-go-lucky, easy smile. It presents itself, everyone's friend type thing, which I think is the greatest thing ever. And he goes, I don't know. Like, I hear these people that hate to lose. He goes, I just like winning more than I hate losing. And I couldn't understand it. I had no idea what he was talking about. Does that make any sense to you, what he says?
No, it definitely does.
God,
man. It definitely does.
You happy people drive me nuts.
No, but honestly, I love, for me, I don't really have like that fear, like coming out like
that was insecurity and ego. That's
I'm not really like
my currency.
I don't really think about man, I better not fucking lose it. I'm more like, not to say you're thinking that, but I'm
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was running from shadows. That's all I was doing. That's it. That's it.
No, but yeah, I love winning. I love like big moment winning. I love everything about winning and what that, that brings out a smile on me. But playing, when then deeper scale, playing the game. Well, I love tennis. I love playing. But winning is like the most exciting thing. That's when the big ass smile comes out. All the reactions, all the celebrations. That's what I look forward to. I visualize those things a lot. But that's crazy that he said that, because that's exactly how he looks like. The guy has no stress in his whole life.
I might as well have, like, you could have knocked me over with a feather. Like, I had no idea what was happening. And I was so angry with him. I'm like, you don't have the angst and you have all this success? I'm like, oh God, it's like he's not like a tortured artist.